All right, thank you so much for joining us again on our program on television this morning on ITV. I did tell you that we are going to be looking at what happened on Monday in Edo State, talking about the Edo State House of Assembly impeachment that has to do with the leadership there, and of course why Nigerians and perhaps Edo people are still trying to really know the true nature of what really transpired, because there has been this ongoing argument that 11 people cannot impeach a speaker in the Edo State House of Assembly. I mean, going by the permutation there, that we have about 24 members, and of course 24 members, for us to have 11 people to impeach is highly not possible. That was the position of the former speaker, Honorable Justin Unokhogie, who said that he has not been impeached. And of course, why that argument has been going on in the lips of political discussants, we also have those that said that 17 or 19 people actually impeached him. So if you go by that permutation too, it means that if we have 19 people out of 24 members, then of course it means that the speaker, was impeached. My name is Unokhogie to discuss this today and also see what is really happening. Is this politics? Whose interest is this for? Is it to benefit the common man on the streets, or our members who people cannot stop talking about? Well, to discuss this today on the program this morning on ITV, we're privileged to have Mr. Harrison Ezeko. You're welcome to this program this morning on ITV. And also my big brother friend, Bishop Akhalame, who was the PDC gubernatorial candidates for the past election in the state. You're welcome to this program this morning on ITV. All right, gentlemen, let's get to business now. Now, looking at what transpired on Monday on the floor of the Edo State House of Assembly, how can we best describe this? Is this just the normal leadership change? Is it politics, or something is fishing somewhere? Let me start with Bishop.
Well, thank you very much. It's a good one that we are discussing this issue this morning. Well, what has happened in the House of Assembly is becoming ubiquitous, very common.
What do you mean by ubiquitous now?
Very common.
Okay.
In Nigerian House of Assemblies, where people now crave for power by all means. Our legislation have become very desperate. They have become desperados who need political power by all means. But I can tell you that their interest is not the people's interest, it's their personal interest. Like what happened in the House of Assembly on Monday is a show of democratic rascality. It's a show of democratic shame. It's a show of immaturity in our democracy. It's a total demonstration of kakistocracy. Because they were supposed to be noble men, honorable men. But what we saw on Monday, it shows that these people have done it to teach us. Who is a leader?
Now, are you specific about what happened on Monday, or what has always been happening? Because it seems to be the trend.
It has not changed. What happened in the past, what happened on Monday, the same thread. So we are discussing what happened on Monday. It happened before. Over the years, just less than 3 years now, we have about 4 speakers in the House of Assembly. My brother, that will tell you that before the end of the 4 years, all the members in the House of Assembly will become speakers. What does that portend? That tells you that almost all of them are desperate to become speakers. They are there not because of the people. They are there to represent themselves. Look at the way and manner at which they are even going about it. I normally tell people, who become the leader in the House of Assembly is the exclusive business of the members of the House of Assembly.
And that's what happened on Monday.
It's the way.
Let's get it straight now, in as much as we are not too comfortable with it. But the point is this: it is not something that you and I can go there and do.
No,
we have elected them there.
No, that's
so they choose who become their speaker.
You don't. That's what I'm saying. They choose who become their leaders. Fine. The way and manner at which they go about it, it has come for worries. You saw them, you see the honorable member throwing chairs, fighting, throwing blows. You can imagine what are these people now going to teach those who are following them. You know what came to my mind when I look at them? These people may have children. Children are supposed to learn from their parents. Now, with this kind of display, tell me, what will the parents, what will the children now learn from their fathers in terms of morals? That a father who is a member of the House of Assembly is throwing their chairs in the floor, throwing blows in the floor. Now, when the child eventually becomes a leader, he will remember what his father used to do in the house. Then he will begin from there. It is a show of rascality, a show of shame, a mockery of our democracy. It shows that we are not yet mature democratically. That is why I said it was a total demonstration of kakistocracy.
Okay, now let me pause you and bring Harrison Ezeko. Now, Harrison Ezeko, when you talk about maturity here now, let's look at it. For a group of people to say that we don't want you anymore, and of course they tell you that we don't want you anymore, and you heard them and you say that no, you must stay. Who do you think is not matured here? Let's start from there.
Well, first of all, let me bear my mind and my thoughts on this issue. You see, it's a constitutional thing. The Constitution empowers the legislator to elect their speaker. You also give them power to impeach. The law is very clear that to tell is 16 members. And from the saga that happened on Monday, the Kabiru Ajoto group made it very clear that they have 16 members who signed the impeachment notice.
But they later told us 19.
Yeah, after the impeachment, they said 3 other members joined. It is politics. It's only applicable to Nigeria. Even in the Western world, even in America, we see this attitude of some level of God when it comes to legislation. But the only issue is that they have a way of settling their issue differently from what we do here. Just to say that it is somehow, it is too frequent, and for me there is no issue. I have not seen a clear issue that warrants impeachment. When I saw that there is a cabal in that house, the man in charge, the Mr. Fix-It of the House of Assembly, Kabiru Ajoto, is in charge. It is very clear. In the removal of Edoro, Kabiru Ajoto played a very strategic role. He was in charge. He make it public that Edoro did this and that. He gave contract to himself. He did this, he did that, and Edoro was removed. Just on Monday here, the same man play out again. You see what they were calling Kabiesi. That shows that he is in charge of that place. If you, by the time he sits down with his group and he feel that these people are no longer loyal, things are not going well, let's remove them. Before you know, you have a way of going around there and they will get majority and they will remove them. The way and manner they go about it is the issue. But they met the majority. Well, you see, it's somehow that the political party is not in charge of their electorate. This is APC versus APC. PDP in that house is the minority of the minority. But this APC removing APC. One would have expected that the group who are at grief, who have seen some lapses, should inform their political leaders, should inform their party that these people are not doing well. This is what is on ground. If the party now call them together, talk to them, and the incumbent speaker refuse to heed to the advice of the party, they can go ahead and carry out whatever they have done. But I was surprised. I heard yesterday when the state party chairman said that in the morning they saw Konobo, in the afternoon was Kabiru Ajoto. That means they were not aware. And this is the same problem they're having at the national level, where the party were not in control of the national legislator, and today is giving the administration a serious headache to move on.
In as much as we want to discuss this issue, let us know, because you expected the party structure to be aware.
Definitely, because it's the same party. Why am I saying it? You see, it's only here when you get into power your party is no longer relevant. You get into power, you want to not be the leader of the party that brought you into power. If we have parents, we are here, we have a father, and both of us are from the same father, we have issues. Is it not wise for us to inform our father to call us together and advise us? There's a situation where your father will be at work or be sleeping, the next thing see the children fighting in the street. It's not healthy for the family, it's not healthy for the state, and it's not healthy for good governance in this state. So what you saw there is just that you saw a group of persons who feel they are in charge, who feel they have the political will, who feel that they can do undo, and they can decide, we'll wake up and say, let us remove this person. Now look at the allegation. They said the man, the wife is using his official car, he gave contract to himself and many others, which we cannot substantiate, because we have not heard from Unokhogie and his crew that this is what led to the impeachment. It's only their own side that have been made public, and we cannot base our judgment on that, because God was the first judge. When Adam and Eve committed sin in the Bible, God did not just pass punishment. He has a question one after the other, even to the serpent before he passes punishment. So we cannot stand by the statement made by Kabila and Jotun that this is what these people have done. If the one is causing problem is something affecting the public, the people in the street, the common man, that is why they are fighting. The people we are applauding. But what we have seen so far is personal issue, personal interest. If somebody is a speaker, the wife drive on the car, does it mean that because the speaker he should drive his wife away? Supposing there's no car to use on that particular day, can the wife use the vehicle of the husband, even his official car? Does that warrant the level of impeachment? So we should look at all these things.
Okay, let me come to Bishop Bakalame one more time, and as we speak, as we talk, let's see those visuals so that we'll just carry our viewers along. Now, Bishop Bakalame, there is something that I saw yesterday. Now, if you watch that clips one more time, you see that there was a fight between Honorable Abbas, who is from a constituency in Esan Northeast, and also Honorable was the man from the Isako constituency, Iraga. Now, those guys, they are one of the PDP people there who are minority. Now, for these people to have engaged in such, I mean, I really don't understand that move. You know, a Raga fighting for Okonobo that refused to let him in. I'm just trying to think beyond the line here. So what do you make out of all this?
Well, you see, like when I saw it too, I look at it. You know, along the line, reconciliation must have taken place. You know, they are one in the house. They have a way of meddling issues.
Now, which one comes first? Is it political interest first, or the interest of the house first?
Well, if you look at it very well, you may not.
The reason why I'm asking that question, because Harrison said that he was trying to make reference to the party structure. I mean, one would have expected that Abbas and Iraga, I mean, they are PDP, members, that they should have stayed out of this.
It depends on individual. What you confess in one person may not confess in another. So if now they are members in the House of Assembly, they automatically become friends. Decide, okay, let's put our past behind us. You discover that I don't know, they may be doing things together. But when I saw that, I thought of so many things. I began to see them as two brothers in the House of Assembly. They are the only two members of the PDP.
And in the minority too.
The minority too.
Yeah.
So I believe that they're supposed to be working hand in hand. They're supposed to be working together. So if people who are supposed to work together, they are now attacking each other, they are now working in a different ways, it shows that something is wrong somewhere. Like I just said, that the house interest now supersedes the political interest. That is what I have seen there. Nothing more. Because if people who conspire not to bring you in, when they call say, oh, you are the member of the House of Assembly, you are not joining them to fight. Even during this time, it was even the Adoro that refused to swear in.
That's what I'm saying.
Now the Adoro was the one he was now fighting for to become the deputy speaker. So for me, it's not an issue that we should discuss. This is Nigeria. Something must have gone wrong that you and I don't even know. This is an issue that
all right, Harrison, I also want you to bear your minds on this too.
You see, first of all, I want to appreciate the maturity of Okonobo. Even when he was dragged out of the chair, he had to take a walk and leave. You see, what goes up will turn around. This is something that some group of persons put themselves together before and unseat the incumbent speaker. Today, is not made the deputy speaker. Politics is all about interest. Where there's an hierarchy of power, there must be a class struggle. I mean to say man is a political animal, zoom political. Is interest. And in Benin, we normally say that they will not do what or hear, I will interpret. What is clapping for the dove to begin to dance is inside the ground. There is no fire without smoke. Very soon we'll see who is dictating the tune. We'll see where the problem is coming from. Now we made to know that there is no political issue. There is a personal issue. But let us believe that is a personal issue. You see, like I said, there's a cabal in that house. We are going to be seeing things like this until the party come in and try to break this cabal, make them understand. You're going to see something like this. Now, my pain is that the man who is the actor are finally giving the power to himself. The other time, he was the one to let it go there, go this way. But this time around, he had decided to sit on the chair. And now, once into that district, is already at what disadvantage. Because the central is so properly represented in APC scheme of things right now. And it will be difficult for me, the way I'm seeing it, to persuade or to pacify the equivalent speaker to step down for somebody from the central. Who are these people? Is still the same person. The tiger was removed before, who is the deputy speaker, and the Okonobo that have just been removed, two people that are from APC from that into that district. Now, how will the party manage this? It's a serious issue. That's why I said there is a disconnect from the political party and the electorate. It ought not to be so. You came into power through the platform of a political party. Ordinarily, it is expected that annually or even quarterly, you give report back to your political party. What you have done so far, as you are reporting to your constituency, you hold your party allegiance to report to your party. This is what and what I have done. That is loyalty. But what we see these days, when people get into power through any platform, they don't bother. They throw away the ladder. When it's close to election, they begin to rally around the leaders again because some of the leaders are very hungry. By the time they throw money around, they will bring them back again. You don't support somebody who have no respect for you, who have no respect for the political, who have no respect for the political party. We don't have independent candidacy in Nigeria. So therefore, any party that brought you into power, you must respect that party. In the good days of PDP, that was one thing they were able to do. They were able to subdue most of their candidates who were going into party. They were having control over them because they need checks and balance. That will be one of benefit to the general public. But a situation where you go there, you are just on your, you can wake up this morning and say, I don't like the face of this man, let us remove this man. And the person that knows how to go about, that knows how to handle it, that is so powerful, that have all the experiences, we just prefer know it, there will be a change again. For me, I'm very sure that the report that they have brought so far, what they have said so far, I don't think is enough to remove the speaker. Okay. That is my own. If you are removing the speaker, they remove the deputy speaker, they remove the majority leader. So if the speaker adjourn meeting at his own way, is it that the deputy speaker and the majority leader, they were the people that did the same thing? So then there is a cabal. They wanted these people to leave and bring in new people on board. Yeah. That is what is happening there.
All right, now, Akalame, let's look at what happened before now, where Okonombo was, Adora was removed. Ajotu also alleged that, he also alleged that financial impropriety, award of contracts and all that. Now, we saw the same thing again. And if you go down, that's, most people were never told, what happened after then. There was no investigation. We're not told that's the outcome of that. So, and this is coming out again. So Nigerians can't just wait to know what is going on. You want to speak on this?
Evans, I've told you before that what is playing out today in the House of Assembly is the interest of the members of House of Assembly. When I started, I told you that there is this aggressive taste of power among the members of the House of Assembly. Every one of them, I told you, go and mark it. Every one of them want to become speaker before the end of the 4 years they have. You can imagine, you see, when you look at all these statements coming from one person, that the past speaker was not good enough. The present one is not good enough. We are removing this one because it's not good enough. The same language. Those you fought, you are bringing them in again to occupy the same office. You say that they were not qualified to occupy.
Yeah, well, but in politics they'll tell you no permanent enemy but permanent interest.
No, that's what discussing. Like to tell you the kind of leaders we are having. It shows that these leaders, they are not representing the interest of the people, but they are there for their own personal interest. Now, it's not incumbent on us as electorate to know what to do. It's happening already. If you voted a particular members of the House of Assembly, which you call honorable member, and you begin to see that member of that House of Assembly throwing chairs in the floor, what do? We start a process of calling that member. Let it come home. It shows that it does not have what it takes to represent you, because when such character is being displayed in the House, it's not only ridiculing himself, but the people he is representing. So I think that everybody have to wake up, open eyes, open eyes, not close your eyes, so that this leader will not begin to lead us with their eyes closed. So if you discover that one of your leaders is not doing very well, let's go on the process of Lekori. Call them back home. Then, if possible, in the next election, you use your PVC to vote them out. Because we have seen over the years, where are we going to get it right? If you go to River State, the same drama play. That's why I told you it has become a common thing. He played that in River State. You saw that. What about in Kogi? He played that when the speaker's head was broken. You have seen it here again in Edo State. How many times have we seen this? You will see honorable members coming to the house with so many dangerous weapons. It's uncalled for. Democratically, like I told you that we are not yet mature democratically. What we are practicing now, if you ask me, it's not democracy. Because when the people, don't I go and say the government of the people, you see the people are being pushed aside. People are being pushed aside. Now look at the political equation in Edo State now. It's not balanced anymore.
Yeah, but don't this equation now. Let's look at this permutation now. We have the governor from Edo South, the speaker as it stands now from Edo North, the deputy speaker from Edo Central.
That's what I told you. I said now the political equation in Edo State is not balanced. You look at the political tripod. It's imbalanced. Like the deputy governor from Edo North, the speaker Edo North, the governor, Edo South, majority leader, Edo South, the deputy speaker, Edo Central. You cannot see what is happening. Does it mean that the Central, they are not part of this state? But what comes for worry is that we have honorable members from that state. I think we have about 5 of the 6 states, 6 local government in Eastern land. But these same people will look at what is happening there. Whether they are quiet, they don't know what is going on, they begin to see things happening like this. You cannot be marginalized in your whole state. The Central too, the ESA people, they are part of the state. Why would a deputy governor and a deputy speaker come for one region? He played that in Edo South, when the deputy governor was from Edo South, while the speaker was also from Edo South. When they look at it and say, this is not fair enough, let us balance this. That was why the speakership had to be zoned to Edo Central, so that the thing will be balanced. Nobody will feel that they'll be marginalized. Okay. But now, what we are seeing right now, what I've played out, you see, if you want to do the constitutional thing, changing of leadership, you ought to have looked at it very well. If you want to change Okonobo, maybe because you feel that this man is not capable enough to stay in the shape of the leadership of the House of Assembly, they look for somebody that you feel that is more capable, more qualified in that same region to replace him.
Okay. Now let us look at the function of our security operatives. We saw the Speaker, Honorable Ajotu, now, picking the gavel. I mean, the security men around. What about if that thing had landed on the security somehow? Because this is not the first time we are seeing this kind of something. Let's take our minds back to Rivers, where we saw the likes of Evans and co. taking the maize and all that, hitting it on somebody, right in the presence of security men. Even up to the extent that there was a police officer that was helping out in lynching and beating and all that. So what is going on?
You see, like I said before, somebody is beating the drum somewhere. And when you see what has happened, beating the drums for somewhere, the security apparatus. Somebody is beating the drum somewhere. If you see what has happened, the Kabiru Ajoto crew, they were completely in charge. They have put machinery in place to actually did what they carried out on Monday. But it's unfortunate that the incumbent speaker and the deputy and the so-called majority leader, they were just taken unaware.
Were they detecting for the security apparatus on ground?
That is why I said it was an arrangement. Because if they were security, they had their security, as at that time, the speaker still had his full guys of security. But at the end of the day, nobody acted. Nobody walked in. Nobody placed support. That is why I said there is control from somewhere. The cabal in that place is very strong. Like I said, the actor of that cabal is the new speaker. The man is so powerful. And the man, when it comes to issues, like when it comes to a Dora issue, we know the role he played. We know the way it was very strategic. We know the way it was giving controls. What happened on Monday, it was giving actions. It was telling them what to do. Even when he went to the so-called gallant, it was giving instructions.
Instructing the security men.
No, the members, if security men did not come, somebody had instructed them not to come in. You didn't see any security men inside the
that's
chambers.
The question.
Ordinarily, security men are not supposed to be inside the legislative.
But we saw they are supposed to go in. The main door open.
Yes, that's why I said there is an order from somewhere. The security of the speaker did not come in. So if I'm saying that somebody is beating the drum somewhere, order has been given somewhere, the security of the speaker never going. And even the man that we are beating to nonsense is somebody who lives in the same quarter with them. Their family, they see each other every day. The way and manner they bounce on that man, if they were having weapon, they were prepared to even kill him. And the security did not go in. So it was a complete work. They were in charge. The person that wanted to go for the maze, somebody was standing by the maze, protecting the maze so that the thing can work. So it was a systematic thing. But just to say that it is not applicable to rural Nigeria, like I said, it happened elsewhere. But it's still rampant in our states, and we need to put check and balances to these things. That is why I said the political party have a role to play. The public are just watching because they feel that if they are fighting for themselves. If somebody has moved a motion and say, okay, I want them so to come to my constituency, this one said that is causing the fight, you will see the people reacting. You can see the state is just quiet. People are just laughing at them because they feel that they were not fighting for their interests. And this is the best time the party bring them together and discuss with them and see how they can put check and balances to whatever is happening there and see how they can bring that cabal in the state of assembly. Because you know it tomorrow, somebody else can come up and begin to fight the state executive. Because if somebody can just wake up and write some few things, the same person who made allegation against Victor Edoro and remove it, the same person came up with another set of allegation and removed the present speaker. And he is not the speaker. The people from the central right now, they feel marginalized. So how the party will now come in, discuss with their members and see how they can balance that area. And it's still between Edoro and Okonobo. Because the other people from the central are PPP members, which the ruling party will not allow to come and be speaker. So it's going to be between these people. But mind you, it's going to take some time because election is not close. Because the incumbent speaker is not somebody that you can push over.
Well, let's look at the election you just talked about. I mean, if this had happened in somewhere like Anambra State, one would have thought it's because of the election. I mean, Edo State is not going to have election until like 3 years' time. 2-3 years' time. So Bishop Akalame, what's all right, we'll take, okay. Now, Bishop Akalame, how do we look at all this? This is not election year. That one would have said that, okay, it's because of the election and all that. So is somebody trying to change the political structure somewhere?
It's not as if somebody wants to change political structure. You know, we have discussed this issue over and over again. As a human being, like he said before, we are political.
When I say the political structure now, I'm talking about the executive, you know, we're just trying to look at it all.
The issue is that it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. Somebody wants to become a leader. They just want to occupy political office. They just want to lead. They want to hold that matter of leadership. They want to be in charge. They want to be in control. Because of this, loyalty is not there. Once you are there as a leader, what they are doing is looking for a way to remove you so that they will occupy the place. Average black man want to dictate. They don't want to follow. They don't want to take orders. They don't want to take instruction. They want to taste what is coming from that office. So as a result, we'll begin to see what we are seeing right now. Now, how will you reconcile this? That in the space of 2 years, that the House of Assembly has had about 4 speakers. Look at them. How many of them have lasted for, at least, I don't know if the 10 of them have lasted for 1 year.
About a year.
That is to tell you that majority of these people, they are desperate to become speakers, so that their pocket will be filled, so that they will taste what is in that office. That is to tell you that the majority of them, they are not just there to see how they can deliver the deep debt of democracy to the people. That is to tell you that they are there just because they want to fill their pocket. But I ask the question, when this thing happened, when I watch everything, I begin to find out what really happened. Why must this thing have to come suddenly? You said a man has brought his own personal issues into the House of Assembly proceedings. So as a result, when he's having personal family issues, he has to put off the proceedings of the House so that he can meet up. That when he was away in America with his family celebrating the graduation ceremony of his son, that those children who were in Nigeria were using his vehicle. That he awarded the legal contract. But to me, if you look at that, if any decision is being taken in the house, you have to take that into his wife. The wife will vet it, become law.
Well, all these allegations.
But if you look at it very well, my brother, look at it very well. How will you say that somebody will take decision home to his wife? The wife will not vet it before it will not become law. Were you there with him, with his wife? You know, when you are talking to people, you have to look at what you are saying, because Nigeria, they are not intelligent. You are married. You are married. I am married. Your wife is you. So if we are discussing here that we go home and say, this one is good, I will not be there with you. How did they know that this man go home to discuss issues with the wife? The wife will not approve before it becomes law.
That's why I said it's an allegation. So these are
the things they bring about to say, oh, this man is no more qualified to lead us. But I was very impressed. I was very impressed the manner and ways at which Justin Okonobo walked out of what
the maturity.
He showed the maturity. He showed a perfect gentleman. I begin to look at it. Is it because he's a medical doctor? You see, when you see him, you see humility. You see a true leader. You see all this leadership traits. A true leader is not hostile.
Okay, let's leave that now, because our position here is to actually see that we try to look at these things so that they don't happen, because it's becoming too often.
We can't stop it.
I mean, the proposed constitutional amendments did not talk about tenure of speakership for State House of Assembly and all that. Now, don't you think that we should begin to look at this direction, so that this idea of you put a speaker in position for 1-2 years and all that, the members say that that he can leave and all that. So don't you think that there should be a stipulated time, that not until the expiration of that stipulated time, the speaker cannot go anywhere?
Well,
maybe this will further
the
cocktails.
Constitution do not make provision for that. The person who becomes the speaker is representing a constituency. And it's very clear that that person is going to spend 4 years. It lies on the members of the House to appoint their speaker, their leaders, their principal officers, which they have done. And the day they feel that they are no longer okay with the way a manner is leading them, the constitution is very clear that they must meet 2/3 majority. That means they must have 16 members out of 24, as the case may be in the State House of Assembly, to remove a sitting speaker or other principal officer, which the present actors have done. They have met the constitutional requirement, although the former speaker said it is 11, which is not true. They presented the paper, and as that same day, another 3 was added to it. So they have met the constitutional requirement to remove the speaker. Well, the only way to avert all these issues, it will not continue to happen frequently. You can't stop that from the legislation. Like I said, politics is all about interest. When my interest is no longer protected, I will begin to talk. When Okonobo came on board and his crew, they dissolved all the committees, and they bring in the people who were part of them in that their own arrangement, and those became chairman of different committee. And some people don't somehow that People have overstayed. We are in charge. We have stayed here for long. For example, it's just coming for the first time. It was just being opportune to become the speaker. And they decided to make a change. The only way they can reduce this is when the political party comes in. You don't just give birth to children. You don't bring in people under the platform of your party, and you just leave them to do whatever they are doing. It will bring bad name to the party. People begin to see APC. So the party need to call them to order. This is the same family. These are people of the same political party, and the party is their father. The party is their mother.
Don't you think if political parties begin to do that? Now, let's take our minds back to, as we wrap up now, let's take our minds back to how the likes of Saraki emerged. It took so many APC members aback. To them, the party was not duly consulted. So if we begin to say that the political party should interfere, don't you think it's going to lead us to that kind of situation?
It's not leading us to any issue. It's going to lead us to fair sharing, federal character, and proper arrangement, so that the executive, the governor, or the president can perform his duty very well. We see what is happening in this country today. We see that the way Saraki and his crew is fighting most of the policies, even their own party is bringing on board. Because why? The party was not in control of the legislators. So if we allow that one to play out in Edo, now we are saying it's a personal issue. Before you know it, they will open another chapter. And they will ridicule development. It will stop some issue. By the time you bring a budget for them to pass, the people tell you they have the power to do it. They will give some printed excuse. So the political party, the executive should not sleep. They need to put a stop to it. They need to put a proper arrangement in place. Call these people to order. That cabal in that state of assembly that is created, they need to find a way to put a stop to it. Like I told you, it's a cabal. There are some persons who are just watching. They are very powerful and they know where to strike. They know how to gather support to their side. You can imagine nearly almost the other PDP members, apart from this other man, they are all in support of what have happened on Monday. Because somebody have been able somehow to brainwash them and put them in check. So I feel that the political party have a role to play so that we can have at least in 4 years, we can have one speaker. There's nothing wrong in it. A situation whereby you just sit down today, if the man walk past you in your legislative quarter and did not greet you, you begin to organize and say, this man don't too much. Is the speaker, for goodness sake, whoever that uses his vehicle, shouldn't be a problem? Is that the issue? Okay. That the wife or the children enter the vehicle and use? Is that enough to remove a speaker?
Yeah, Bishop,
those issues are flimsy for me.
Yeah, Bishop, so what does this portend for our democracy on the final note? Is it good? Is it healthy?
It's a mockery of our democracy. You just ask the question, how can we stop it? We can't stop it. We can't stop. Before we can stop it, then that means we have to work on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. Because if we cannot work on ourselves, this thing will continue. I told you that the who become leaders in the house is the exclusive business of the members of the House of Assembly. Like I have just said, the executive member has nothing to do with what happened in the House of Assembly.
But at times, the executive do influence. They do influence. We
were told. I learned that.
But that is not the situation here now.
I learned that even when this thing happened, that the party, like you said, that the party invited the members.
That's the APC.
The APC invited the members. Even the governor was there.
Invited which members now?
The members in the house.
After it happened.
Yes, now. So they had a meeting that this man they should allow the Honorable to stay. They said no. So that the governor have to work out in anger. So
we're going to substantiate that. We're going to verify that.
These are some of the issues we need to look at. There's a separation of power between the executive and the legislature. So what happened there is the exclusive right of the members of the House of Assembly. Okay. So if you are a leader, you are a speaker in the House, they feel that you don't have what it takes to lead them. It's a constitutional thing. It's clear. You can be impeached.
Well,
so
I think
in as much as every black man want to become a leader, my brother, we cannot change this. Okay. There's this taste for political power. They want to know what is there, so we can't change it.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for finding time to come. And in as much as we all look for peace, I think the new leadership of the Edo State House of Assembly must know that there is need to carry all of us, together, so that we enjoy democracy.